faithfulness is a bit different from diligence. Why diligence has to do with ability to withstand pressure, working hard and working smartly, faithfulness is more about values, ethics and character. God is seeing, are you dependable, are you loyal? Somebody can be competent and have the energy to do the work, but his heart is evil. So if you give him something, he can easily betray. So he has the requisite, credentials in the physical, but in the heart, those credentials are not there. And so God sees that this guy is not reliable. You see him laboring somewhere, you think he's part of the team. It's a lie. He's an Absalom. He's walking apart from the team. He's just using the labor of everybody to stand out, so that the moment he gains a ventilation, he will escape. And so God sees that person and says, no, this person can't be trusted. And because you can't be trusted, God will look for a way to keep you relevant. But you cannot rule your generation. Because when you become, your heart will rub off on everybody that follows you. And so God will not take the risk of putting you in charge in order to corrupt a generation. So he will help you to be relevant, at least to fulfill your life and destiny. But you cannot handle certain things in the kingdom. Because if you do, when you speak, when you direct, when you lead, you will create a generation after your rebellion, after your corrupt tendencies. And so your life will mar the possibilities of others. And so because God sees that, he will not do it. That's why the Bible speaking in Luke chapter 16 verse 10 and 12. He said, if you are not faithful in another man's business, he said, who will give you your own? That's God asking, who will give you? That means you can only receive your own if you are faithful in another man's. And he said, if you are not faithful in little, who will give you much? So your promotion is at the mercy of your faithfulness. Your promotion is at the mercy of your loyalty. If you pray and you are not faithful, if you pray and you are not pure at heart, that prayer will be answered, but the prayer will wait for the day your heart is refined, for God to release something on you. Are you seeing why you can find many people who are very intelligent but not impactful? You can find many people who are very smart, but God doesn't exalt their horn. You sit with them for 5 minutes and you are wondering, my God, some people can open the Bible and in 5 minutes, what they will share, you will say, are there teachers like this in Africa? How come you are not being blessed? How come God is not raising you to mentor a generation? It's because of the heart. The theology is good, but the heart is wrong. And so even though he's the best teacher, he cannot be the best leader. And so God will keep him at one spot. Have you not seen some people, as this message is going on now, they go online and pick one statement and do a thorough exegesis on the statement you have made. They quote from Old Testament, quote from New Testament, balance it. Why this statement is wrong, why it must be this, why it must be that, why it must be that. Before you know, they have typed 3 pages on one comment. You are now asking, if you know this much, why are you in obscurity? Why is your ministry on comment box? You know so much, but your whole ministry is on comment box. Why is your ministry there? And they will never see that something is wrong with the heart. And that is what God is seeing. Intelligence correct, heart wrong. And so God is watching. And they will keep doing that comment box ministry for 50 years until they become too old to type. They will go and rest. The person they are commenting on will still be going forward. And God will be improving him. God does not endorse the error, but God sees his heart. So God is improving him. God is growing him. A point will come, God will teach him that thing he doesn't know. And he will still be making progress. Meanwhile, the man with the darkened heart will remain like a gazelle on comment box. And he's picking things and attacking and correcting and attacking. A point will come, even the laptop keys will break. And there will be no money to buy another laptop. So he will go and buy an artificial keyboard, connect a USB cord, add it on top of the laptop and start typing. After a while, he will type, that one too will break. And there will be no money to buy another keyboard. He will now go back to the God of heaven. That's when he will start doing heart business. Heart. Because he said, I the Lord, I judge the heart. I don't judge the brain. I can improve your brain, but I judge the heart. I judge based on the texture of the heart. And so it takes faithfulness, purity of purpose, ethics and values for God to shift a man. The next law is the law of obedience. Before God promotes you, he will find out what you did with the last commandment. If you discard the last instruction God gave you, he won't give you another one. He will wait until you keep that, because every instruction you obey is a launching pad to the next level. God promotes us through instructions. The junctions of our destinies are the junctions of obedience. Everywhere God gives you an instruction and you violate it, you have built your house there. You will remain there for a long time. Imagine Abraham. He told him, in thee shall the nations of the earth be blessed. And Abraham remained. He said, go to this land. Abraham came and discovered there was no green pasture. He went to Egypt. God waited. After a while, God returned him back to the promised land. He wasted that period of time and God remained. God told him, you must believe. If you don't believe, it can't happen. That's my nature. I can't deny myself. And he labored with this man for more than 25 years until Abraham was able to believe before God could move. If you don't do it the way God said it, God will not have the ability to move you to the next level. And so this thing we are teaching is not to come psych and motivate people. They are rigid things in the spirit. And so if you know how it works, you can be in one place on your own and begin to make progress. Make progress. When I knew how obedience mattered to God, I took time, went and started checking everything God told me. I wrote all of them. The ones I violated, I asked for mercy. I repented and I started doing it mechanically. And God didn't answer for a long time. After a while of consistency, I started doing it and I started noticing the move of the Spirit. The move of the Spirit. And the more I kept at it, the more things began to change. I now discovered the key, that when God gives you an instruction, is a door into a possibility. Spiritual doors don't appear like this one you are seeing. If God wants to open a door for you, he gives you an instruction. As you obey that instruction, you see that it becomes a door. That's how God works. Many people are looking for doors in the spirit. Oh Lord, open doors, open doors. And the moment the prophecy comes, God gives an instruction. Take that money in your account, go to an orphanage and give them. And you say, no, I can't do it. Oh Lord, open doors, open doors. Every 12 midnight, wake up and wait on me until I tell you the next day. They wake up one day, the next day, the third day, the Holy Ghost is shaking them. They wake up around 7, they say, Lord, have mercy, have mercy, have mercy. He will have mercy, but you will remain there for a long time. If you know how God works, he says, wait on me by 12 midnight. You will stop your day by 8 p.m. Create time to rest so that you can wake up. But if you don't know how God works, you will still be busy watching movie, doing things, and then by 11:30 you want to take a nap. After a while, the instruction will die and the energy will die with it. And then you will see somebody 15 years later doing what looked like what God showed you. And then you are wondering, these were the things God was telling me. Yes, because you didn't wake up, he chose another David. And if you want to be sure, go and ask that person. You will be shocked that the same instructions God was giving you, at the time he was giving you those instructions, those were the same instructions he gave that person. And the person was the one who kept it. So he qualified to handle the scepter. It can be as simple. Some of you are here now. God is telling you, take a management course. Just 6 months online. Take a management course. That's all. You say, oh yes, Lord. I'm not just talking fasting prayer. Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord. You'll never take it. 2 years later, I say, Kai, God told me last year to take a management course. And then suddenly, your door opens. And they say, well, we have seen your experience in business. You have done this tire business for 10 years. You have done this for 20 years. But we just need a credential at least. Let's show that you can communicate what you know. Then you discover there was no credential. Experience complete. But the key was what God told you 4 years ago. And you violated it. That door, you will see it, but it will be locked. Have you missed a flight before? The plane will park and they will tell you it's airborne. The difference will be 5 minutes. You will look at your time. You want to die. People are already there waiting for you in the meeting. You will have to reschedule this flight. If there is seat for tomorrow, if you are not careful, you want to reschedule. Even tomorrow, there's no seat. And then you are wondering, this is the plane, but it's what? Airborne. The door is locked. And the difference was 2 minutes. But they have closed counter. You will beg and beg. They'll say, no, we have sent the report to Lagos. We can't do anything again. That's how destiny works. When God gives you an instruction, it will look simple. The weight of your destiny tomorrow will rest on that simple instruction. But many don't know how men move. If you want to move fast in life, obey quickly. That's how you move. And I'm teaching you things that every one of you will be perceiving in your heart. Because all of us who are here, we didn't appear here. We have gone through a measure of process. And we must have touched these things at different levels. May God help you to know it early. So that you don't know it when it's late. And finally, what I will tell you tonight is the law of prophecy.